Hello and welcome to another episode of my Minecraft creative series. I think this is episode, I need to find out what episode this is. And you'll notice also, if you can see my little camera, yeah, you can make out, I'm in a different room, I'm in my living room, which I'll explain why, as the video goes on. But for now, in fact, I'll try and do it while I'm looking at what episode number this is. Very coordinated, Jordan, well done. So basically I'm in the living room because, it's 9 in the morning, which really is not that early, is it? I don't think it's that early, but for some people it is. So because it's Saturday, I'm trying to be considerate, particularly because I've been up since ridiculous o'clock this morning. I think it was about 1 o'clock this morning, which is good news for you guys if you are all enjoying this creative series, because that means I've got a few episodes recorded. But I'm pretty sure the neighbour was not there last night because I guess he was working a night shift. And then I think I heard him come back early hours in the morning. So yeah, just out of respect because he's probably sleeping, I really want to record some videos, and I know it's daytime and maybe I shouldn't be so bothered, I don't know, but I'm trying to be considerate. So I've come downstairs to record this episode, just so that I'm not making a lot of noise upstairs in case he's trying to sleep or whatever. I'm hoping I'm not disturbing anyone or anything, so we'll see about that. But anyway, that aside, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying following along with this series, or even if you've just tuned in, I hope you are going to enjoy it or find it half interesting. Literally just a hobby for me if you've literally just joined, so I know that I don't really get any views, but I'm not really bothered because it's literally just fun. Literally just doing it for fun. But if you have been at all following my series, you'll know that in the last episode I determined that in this episode I'm going to be building a house. So as I couldn't really be bothered, but that's sort of what it's there for. It's to make me build houses and make the population grow, so then I can build more exciting things is the idea. So I start this episode off by building a house. I'm going to fast forward to something more exciting. Now, as I mentioned, I have got a few episodes pre-recorded. So I think I've recorded 4 episodes, and I'm in the mood to do more, but after I've narrated over them, I might feel a little bit more tired, so we'll see. I've got a bit of a headache. I think that's just because my sleeping pattern is so messed up. But anyway, enough about me moaning. Basically, I decided that this bit where I'm hollowing away at now is where the house is going to go. Now, when I knew I had to build a house in Foxby, this just seemed like the logical place to put it for me. It was either here or up near the castle. Maybe I should have done it up near the castle because I've been working on the castle area. But just here, I'd said before that I wanted a massive estate that sort of sprawled out that way. So to me, it just made sense that since I know I wanted it there, the space there, I don't have to. I was going to say I don't have to move anything out of the way, but I do have to hollow away at that. What do you even call it? It's stone. Hollow away at all that stone so that I can squeeze the house in. And I go for a pretty standard house. I'm going to fast forward so you can see it a bit. Excuse me. So yeah, chopping all that away, putting a wall in, very exciting. Put the wall in. I put a little sideboard there, is what you just saw me doing. And then I put the stairs in, and I really tried to think about how big I want it to be. So I put the sideboard there so that I know in a lot of my houses you walk in and the stairs are there straight away. And I don't always like that. Sometimes it's okay, but I don't like it all the time. So as you can see there, I've got a bit of a hallway entrance area where the sideboard is, and that's good because it does mean that I can put, I think I end up putting the bathroom above that little hallway space. Now, I must say for this house, spoiler alert, I do end up leaving it fully open planned downstairs, but I think a lot of modern houses are a bit more open planned downstairs anyway. I do try to make it modern-ish, I guess. It ends up being a 2-bedroom house, and there is actually room in the attic to put rooms up there if I wanted to, but I decided not to bother for this house. So if that's something you think I should do differently, please let me know and I'll sort it out. I'm going to fast forward again, something more exciting. Now, I do want to say as well, I'm just putting the floor in, let's skim past that. Very exciting. So I do want to say as well that at the end of this episode, I did mention in the last one that perhaps after I've built the house, I'll maybe show you what I've done with the castle, and that's something that I do. You're supposed to just say it once, aren't you? That's something that I do at the end of the episode. So if you are at all interested in what I've done to the castle area and seeing what we're calling the king's living quarters and whatever, which I really think needs work. When I remember recording it this morning, and it's not as good as I thought it probably would be, and still at some point probably needs improving. So. But anyway, if you're at all interested in what I've done, it's definitely the biggest building I've built on this world so far. I'm 100% about that. It's huge, absolutely huge. If I try and just work out how many floors it's got, so I'll spoil it a bit, and it can be a bit of a teaser to what's coming up. So then, if you're interested, you can know what you're looking forward to or whatever. But basically, the ground floor is like a dungeon, so that's the first like ground floor. Then there are 3 floors of like business floors where just like storage space for when goods get unloaded off the minecart system or whatever. Then there's the platform floor, so that's 5 floors in total, including the ground floor. Then the floor above is like a management space, so that they can like just keep an eye on everything in that building. I mean, there's only 4 lifts between all of the floors, so I thought you could like have someone that coordinates who can use which lifts and stuff. And I thought if the king was being really stingy, and there's like businesses that want to make use of that space, they could hire a floor, but then they could also even like pay to use the lifts. I know that sounds silly, but obviously, like if someone's got control over something and they can make money from it, some people absolutely will. So that's sort of what I'm thinking. And then the very top floor of that tower, it's literally like a tower. You'll see it later in the episode. Was supposed to be like the king's living quarters. Now, yeah, as I've looked at it, it's a bit like a sort of penthouse suite, which is not very appropriate for like a king's castle, is it? But yeah, I do look forward to showing you that towards the end of the episode, because it's definitely got a lot of character, and I've just never built anything like it before, I don't think. So yeah, quite exciting. I can't remember if I've... Oh yeah, I definitely did like start pre-recording where I'd added the extra like... I've got it in my head, I just can't get the words out. Where I added the extra like rail for the goods to be loaded and unloaded. But I think I didn't... Yeah, I couldn't squeeze it all in an episode, so I said, I'll show you another time. Then obviously the episode after the last episode was supposed to be in that other village, which, by the way, I think I've come up with a name for. I think I am going to call it... Let's have a look. Can't remember. Oh, that's the wrong note, Mr. Callaway. Let's have a look. I'm going to call it Spruce Valley, is what I'm thinking, because obviously it's got spruce trees, and I thought I wanted it to have valley in it. So provisionally, it's been called Spruce Valley, but obviously I can always rename it if you don't like it or think I should do something else. Anyway, you've seen how I've split that house into like 3 rooms. I think that's appropriate. So it ends up being 2 bedroom and then 1 bathroom. I'm just putting the roof on, so I'm going to skim past that because it's a bog standard roof, not very exciting. I thought I'd done it then. I was like, that was fast, but no, I was just copying the block over. So let me skim past it again. I'm going to skim past all of the roof buildings. It's not very exciting. You can see I've just sacrificed a tree there because it's in the way. I don't actually finish off the garden for this house, so if that's something you want me to do, let me know. Otherwise, it'll probably be if I get that randomness thing that tells me that I should improve a house and then end up getting this house that was in this episode. I must say, because I've pre-recorded a few episodes, I do sort of veer away from that a bit. Now, if you like it or don't like it, like I obviously need you to let me know, because otherwise I'm just going to do my own thing. I thought like that randomness thing, it does sort of add a bit of interest to the videos, I think. Like watching it back, I'm like, oh, what's Siri going to say? It's instead of like it being predetermined or just me doing what I want to do sort of thing. But like I say, because I recorded so much this morning, in the end I just got bored of it. It actually told me to demolish a few buildings. I was like, I don't want to demolish all these buildings. Like, I'm trying to build the world, not just knock it down. So I'm already going against what the algorithm, if you can even call it that, is saying. And I don't know if that's the right thing or the wrong thing, but I'll get into that more in the other episodes when I explain sort of, if I can remember what Siri chose and what I ended up doing instead. So you can see this house is pretty much complete now. Just adding a little walkway there up to the front of it. Let me skim past that because it's not very... I've basically done it. And then, yeah, clearing the garden a bit. But the house is basically finished. And then I do end up doing the interior as well. So if I just rewind a bit, you can see that was fully open there. And I do decide to split it into a window and a patio door. I think that was the right thing to do, because as much as it looked nice being open, it wasn't like symmetrical. It wasn't big enough for what I wanted it for. I didn't think it looked right to have a window going all the way across and then a door just to one side. I don't know if that's just me. I must say, for this house to say it's a fairly decent sized house, the kitchen does end up being quite small, but it does have like a dining area. So, and the dining area seats like, I can't remember how many people it seats. I'll have to see what I do. Let's fast forward and see if we can find out. So yeah, I'm just putting in a like mantelpiece, like stone fire, which I've not done in any houses before in this series. I don't think so. that's quite exciting, something a bit different. You'll have to let me know if you like it or not, and if I should make that a feature in more houses. Otherwise, I'll just do what I want to do. So I just start putting sofas in. I think I do leave the sofas just as cobblestone because I just can't be bothered to go and find them on the block. I don't know if that's bad. So again, if you want me to change it, please let me know. But yeah, that's meant to be a little coffee table, and then I end up having three little sofas. They're only 2-seaters, aren't they? Which is great for a two-bedroom house. Yeah, I don't know how I've ended up with like so much space downstairs and not very much space upstairs. I mean, I say so much space, but look, here I'm struggling to squeeze things in. I was thinking, where should I put the table? End up putting it the other way on. And it does back right up to the sofas, and I don't normally like things touching, but yeah, there's just not the space for it. Okay, so it looks like this table I end up making, how many seats is that? 6-seater, which is crazy. I suppose, like, for example, I have a 4-seater table, and I never have 4 people here, so I suppose that happens sometimes. And this is me trying to squeeze the kitchen in, but gosh, it's such a small area, so if you do think I should, like, extend this house to make it more fit for purpose, please let me know, because otherwise it's probably going to stay as is. Let's fast forward and see what happens next. I think I just put some lights in to kind of brighten it up. Yeah, so put some lights in. I've gone with lanterns, and I think they look okay. I've not gone overboard. I think, what was it, 2 in the living room, 1 for the dining area, and 1 for the kitchen area. And then I think, I just put the furnace and the cauldron in for the oven, and the sink is the idea. And then I've obviously put a paint in there. You'll maybe see that towards the end of the episode. Just kind of give it character. So looks like I'm putting a light in. I think I do the banister next, and I just go for a glass banister, fairly dark greyish colour. I think it looks quite modern. Is that the right thing to do? I don't know, because it's not like a super modern house, is it? But it's not a really old style house either. So yeah, any of your opinions, feel free to either comment or message me or whatever. Otherwise, just enjoy the series, because I appreciate people are not like engaging with it like I'd hoped, which is fine. In a way, it sort of means that I can do what I want to do, but obviously if it's not what you want, then feel free to have your input, and I'll do it, because this is meant to be, like, as much as it is for me. If anyone else wants to kind of dictate what happens in the series, if someone's going to like follow along and stuff, I'm all for that. Now, just on that note, like, quite a few of my students have like let on that I do YouTube. I don't know if that was the right thing or the wrong thing. Although I've never been told to like keep it secret, just to make it difficult for kids to find, which makes me think that like I shouldn't make it knowledgeable to them. But then if I'm recording a video at the weekend, I guess I'm supposed to just not say that at all. Like, I don't know, but it just comes up in conversation. Anyway, obviously when they hear that they really want to see my videos and everything. Just trying to get the right picture here, but it's going over the door, so I have to put a block in to make it the right size. I think that's what I go for, and I thought you can imagine that's the TV. Anyway, yeah, the kids really want to see my videos, but I'm worried that I'm not supposed to reveal my channel to them, and like I want to ask at work if I'm allowed to, even though I sort of don't want to, because I know it'll like disturb lessons and stuff. And I don't. And the kids like are saying, "Can you tell us when we leave?" I'm like, maybe. I really sort of want to, because like I get on with them well. I just don't want it to distract them from like revision if that's what they're supposed to be doing, and I don't want any like disruption in lessons, like, oh, I saw your video last night, but then like that's all they'll say, and that'll be the end of it, sort of thing, I think. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to have, because as much as they are students, like I do feel like some of them are like friends as well, like the ones that you get along with. Which sounds weird. It's not as weird as it sounds. It's really not like that. But I'm trying to get a nice picture here again. I don't know if I end up giving up. I think I put like 2 lanterns above. 2 lanterns and then a sink. And I don't know if I put anything behind the sink. Do I put a picture there, or because it'd be good if you could have mirrors? Like, why are mirrors not a thing in Minecraft? Oh my god, that'd be so good. I bet they'd be really hard to program, and that's maybe why they've not done it. I quite like that picture. I mean, well, I say that, and they're destroying it. I figured out that one's meant to be someone on a horse, isn't it? I was looking at it thinking, what is that? But yeah, I quite like those tall, slim pictures. Here's me again, like just trying to pick one, and it looks like I gave up there. Yeah, mirrors. We need mirrors in Minecraft. Like, why is there not glass doors either? Glass doors. Oh my gosh, on like shops and stuff. It'd just be perfect. Like, why is that not a thing? Anyway, you can see how I've decorated this house. There's the door looking out. I just went through the door. That's my Xbox for you. Like, ancient, absolutely ancient. I keep seeing gaming PCs like pop up on Facebook. And I'm like, do I, don't I? But no, I'm really trying to save my money, but we'll see. Anyway, this is basically how the house sort of ends out. And that's it. I've decorated it. That's what it looks like. I hope you like it. If not, feel free to give me feedback. Obviously, I've done completely my own thing because no one suggested anything, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Unless I should maybe I should get Siri to do it, like choose how many bedrooms and stuff. Just thought of that. Food for thought. Anyway, I eventually now go over up to the castle area, so lead up from Foxby. This is the Foxby village, isn't it? So lead up from what we're calling Foxby up to where the castle is. Sort of trek through it, because I don't know if you saw I think it was the start of the last episode, but I can't remember. I do put this path in, and the idea is it's going to be where people sort of go through the castle to get to the train station area. So that's where it leads to. And then if you just look from here to the right, you can see that's the massive tower that I've built. Now, it's definitely probably not the biggest thing that I've ever, no, definitely not the biggest thing that I've ever built in Minecraft. But it is huge. Like we say, it's got lots and lots of floors. I end up giving a tour, so that's what the rest of this episode is going to be. It says I've got 10 minutes of recording left. It will be a little bit less than that, and you'll be able to see from the actual YouTube video how long's left. But yeah, I do end up giving a tour of this building. It's not like furnished or anything, but just show you the different floors and what they're for. Even though I've explained it, I feel like you might want to see. So that's what I end up doing. Look at the valley; it's so beautiful. It's just a shame that minecart system is like way up in the air. But yeah, anyway, I suppose that'll happen in real life at some times. I don't know, like massive viaducts or whatever. Anyway, I was just showing you like the two entrances to the building. That's the only entrances I've got other than the minecart system up there. Because obviously you might get on or off the minecart system, but it's mainly supposed to be for goods in this building, this tower. Maybe you need to come up with a name for it. So yeah, I do end up giving you a bit of a tour. Here's me just checking out the scenery. Look, bit of a tour. So as you know, this is meant to be like the goods area where things get loaded and unloaded. And if you keep going through, that's like the passenger station, which I think really needs a roof on it because look, it's just raining there. It's not right. So hopefully, Sherry's going to tell me to improve that building at some point when I get it to pick an episode number or whatever. So just on that note, because I've got 3 other recordings, I'm not going to do that this time. I can't even remember what's in them. So like your guess is going to be as good as mine. You'll have to watch them if you want to know. But yeah, it's like predetermined what's in those 3 episodes, which I'm probably going to spam release this weekend if I can be bothered. My partner's at work like all weekend, so plenty of opportunity to record. And I just want to chill out because I've had such a long, stressful week at work. I'm so ready for half term. So yeah, just having a bit of me time really, which yeah, I think I need it. I really need it. So this is the like little dungeon area. Now I've only got 2 cells, but I did actually Google that apparently like 0.1% of the population is actually in prison. So I thought I'll make it like real life. Obviously my population is absolutely tiny. I think Foxy's about 30, and Spruce Valley, the other village, is about 50. So that's like 80 residents in total. Like even 10%, 80 is 8, isn't it? So 1% would be like not even a person. So 0.1% is nobody. Now I'm sure people will like commit crimes or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. If the population was so small, would there be like no one in prison? I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I just noticed there that lift was not finished, which really annoys me. So I need to finish that lift at some point. I don't know if you saw it. Feel free to rewind. But basically above the lifts, and it's there. I know I fixed that one, I think, when I realised. But the floor below was the same, just where I've built it and not finished it off, but not done it on purpose. As you can see, there's like the tree still in that building, and I don't know whether to get rid of it or not. I'm like, well, it reminds me that there was a massive tree there, which is kind of cool. But also it's a bit weird that there's just a tree trunk in a building. It's like a massive tree house. Can you imagine if it was a tree house? So I'm just showing here that you've got obviously the rails above. It is open. I don't know if I should put something under there so it's not so open. And this is like the loading area. So just a reminder, there was the dungeon, 3 floors of what are supposed to be like business areas. So there'll be one for the post office, one for other goods, and one for other goods. I don't know. I've really not decided. This is meant to be like that management area where the guards that are looking after the king and the king's castle sort of maybe work from, and then also coordinate like who can use what lift at what time, particularly if we're going to charge for that, which we could imagine. And I'd really like to like imagine the finances and stuff, because obviously like being a maths teacher and having a maths degree, like I quite like maths, so I'd quite happily work out like what things should be earning and then decide like what money they've got and what they should do with that money, which obviously would happen in any other game like like SimCity or whatever, you'd have money coming in all the time. This is supposed to be the King's Quarters, like that kind of penthouse area apartment that I was talking about. So where those stone beams are across the floor, I was going to put walls in and then sort of section that middle part off into sort of bedrooms, kitchen, living space. But yeah, it's really not like a king's castle sort of thing, is it? So perhaps I'll build another sort of king's quarters because it's just not right, just not how I pictured it would be. But anyway, that is me revealing what is so far my biggest building in this Minecraft creative series. Now, it was done off camera, but I hope you like it. If you don't like it, please let me know. Or if you've got any suggestions, like, I'm all ears. If you have all enjoyed this episode, please feel free to give it a thumbs up so I know that people have liked it. Otherwise, I am completely guessing as to like what people want to see. So just in general, if you do watch any videos and like them, like, please give them a thumbs up so I know sort of what content people like. Now, just while I'm talking about it, how long have I got left of this? 5 minutes, fine. So as I've mentioned, I don't know what episode this is, and I said I would check, didn't I? So let me look. With a sneeze, I could feel myself with a sneeze. So this will be episode 19. The next one is supposed to be, because it's a multiple of 5, it's supposed to be me building 5 houses. So the next few episodes are not going to include that, but I'll make up for it in another episode. Now, being completely honest, I can't remember what is in the next episode. It should be in... in fact, I think I can sort of remember. So Siri, when I asked Siri while I was making the recordings, rolled a 1, and a 1 is to demolish a building. And then I got it to choose the episode number as well. And it suggests the courtyard. And I was thinking, what? I love the courtyard. I don't want to knock the courtyard down. So I do end up like destroying one of the buildings, which I've been thinking of working on for a while. It's just next to the train station. So if that doesn't all interest you, in Spruce Valley, someone crying outside, I think, unless it's a seagull. If that doesn't all interest you in Spruce Valley, me knocking down part of my courtyard, and I just end up actually turning it into a bit of a corner shop, which I don't like in the end. So again, it will need improving, but I didn't know how to make it better. But anyway, if that doesn't all interest you, that should be what's coming in the next episode. And I'll have to do the 5 different houses for a completely different episode number. But I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up so I know you've enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this journey. See you in the next video. Fingers crossed.